The idea existed for a long time uh, to write another Dutch introduction into Reformational philosophy, and especially the work of Dooyeweerd, because there's another introduction, that the one by René van Woudenberg, which has only appeared in Dutch, and that has been used in lectures of Reformational philosophers. And we thought there are also some new developments that would be interesting to highlight in order to illustrate that Dooyeweerd is not an old-fashioned guy with only an historical interest, but a person who is whose work is relevant for in many contexts. Martin and I know each other from quite early on, briefly after we both graduated. And when we met, we always discussed our different settings and how to remain and develop as Christians in our working context. And we went a different route. Martin went to he can speak for himself, but went to foreign countries. I stayed in Holland and became a psychiatrist, and briefly after my PhD acquired one of the chairs in Reformational philosophy. That was in 1992. And then, well, when I became Dooyeweerd, I got the Dooyeweerd chair at the VU later on. And that was the moment that I thought, well, as a group of Dutch scholars, we should have common meetings. So we began to organize what we called a council of professors, which was a bit, well, how do you say it in English? A bit with too much bravoure, so to say. But at least people interested in developing Reformational systematic philosophy and bringing it into contact with the area in which the person was working. And this group of scholars said at a certain point in time, that was around 2010, well, we now definitely have to go to write another introduction. It lasted until 2022 that we actually started. There were initially, was the idea to write it with even more people, but then Martin was retired, or was almost retired, and I was also retired, and we said, well, we have the time, let's do it. And Martin knew Suzanne and said, well, if we do it, we need the illustrations. So that's how it came about, more or less.